Now it is time to take a close look at types of software testing in order. First of all, when you start your testing, you start it with static testing or business functional requirement document for your project walkthrough. After which, your project goes into development, and developers, after creating their own programming code, they run own unit or so-called white box testing. In big organization and medium size organization, there is system testing by environment support department. Environment support is responsible to create for you testing environment and supply you with credentials. In large-scale organization, there is integration testing as SIT testing, system integration testing. For example, when your application is large scale, for example, you have multiple websites, multiple databases, cloud, mainframes, so SIT or system integration testing is responsible to make sure that your testing environment is properly connected. After environment support run system integration testing for you, you are ready to start your project testing phase. You start with so-called smoke or sanity or shakeout testing, which means you're supposed to test your testing environment provided for you by running a few major end-to-end tests. For example, you start with web application, you create some kind of order, some kind of customer, you create, for example, like a bank account, insurance, or basket order, and it's supposed to end in database your order and in mainframe, for example, in parallel. After which you are ready to start your project's functional or so-called black box testing. Black box because your QA analyst or testers or any other functionalities, they are not supposed to see the code behind the scenes. Because they protect end user. After functional testing is complete, you are ready to proceed with regression testing for existing functionality, which means that new project's code introduced didn't touch any existing functionalities. All of this is called integration with system as quality assurance E2E testing or end-to-end testing. After all this is done, you're ready to run, or separate team might be running performance testing. It's optional as volume, load, spike is a peak, stress, and so like memory leakage testing. After all this is done, user acceptance testing is coming into play. And user acceptance testing is ending with business acceptance testing. It could be mutual as alpha and beta testing phases. BFRD, its full name for Business Functional Requirement Document, is a document that describes the additional functionalities that are added after business requirement document, attention please, is signed off. Because any document supposed to get approval and officially sign off. And you cannot, for example, start testing without your test cases sign off. It can be updated in the old business requirement document, or it can be added as a separate document. Now, alpha phase or alpha testing. The actual users, are invited at the development center where they use the application and the developers note every particular input or actions carried out by the user. Any type of abnormal behavior of the system is noted and rectified by the developers. Beta testing, everybody knows what does it mean. The software beta version is distributed as a beta version to the users, and users test the applications at their sites. As users explore the software, in case of any exception, defect occurs, that is always reported to the developers. During your project implementation into production environment, you might discover separate issues or defects, and they are raised by so-called war room. War room is actual environment where you introduce your project into production environment. And if any defect is escaped, and is discovered later by actual users, so it's reported in a form of it's reported back to your organization and becomes a trouble ticket to resolve.